Tohei a student of several martial arts and a follower of many rigorous disciplines from his early childhood, devoted great energy and knowledge to the creation of Aikido, the martial art of love, not warfare. Instead of imbuing in its followers a desire to win over other people, Aikido cultivates a spirit of love for all things through training and striving towards self-perfection. On the basis of its precept that the mind controls the body, Aikido teaches that one must master spiritual laws that produce a state of physical and spiritual unification in which all deeds are possible. From this state of unity, universal love is born. The power arising from unification of body and mind is called ki. Tekubi Undo. This exercise promotes relaxation. Funekogi Undo. The name derives from the similarity of the movements to boat rowing. If when executing this exercise, you keep your spirit concentrated in the single spot in the lower abdomen, though your opponent pushes you from the back or the front, he will be unable to budge you. Ikkyo Undo. Once again, throughout the exercise, it is vital to keep the spirit concentrated in the single spot in the lower abdomen. This is true of all Aikido exercises. Without this concentration, your exercises will be incorrect. Zengo Undo. Happo Undo. Whether the movements are forward and backward only, as in the Zengo Undo, or in 8 directions, as in the Happo Undo, you must always face in the direction in which you are moving. This exercise employs the fundamentals of leading the strength of an opponent who is advancing toward you. Tekubi Kosan Undo. Though it seems simple, this exercise helps develop a posture from which your opponent cannot move you, either upward or to the rear. It is most important, however, to relax your arms completely, because if you tense them, your opponent will be able to move you as he wishes. Sayu Undo. After raising your arms to the side, you crouch slightly. The crouch movement is used in throwing an opponent. Udefuri Undo, the most widely used move in Aikido. This exercise serves to pull your opponent into a circular movement created by your body. The center of the circle, your body itself, is stable. Consequently, the swing of your arms is powerful. Ushirodori Undo. This exercise is used to throw forward an opponent who attacks from behind. When your partner has seized both your wrists from behind using this movement, it is possible to throw him forward over your head. Ushiro tekubi tori undo. This move is at the side of and to throw an opponent who is gripping your wrist from behind. The unbendable arm. This is a fine example of the way the spirit can control the body. First, tense your arm and have your opponent try to bend it. He can do so easily. Next, relax your arm, but concentrate on sending your strength 1,000 miles forward. As long as you maintain this mental attitude, he will be unable to bend your arm. Anyone can do this. Preventing an opponent from lifting you. Stand with your body tense. Your opponent can lift you with no trouble. If, however, you relax and concentrate your ki in the single spot in the lower abdomen, even a man stronger and heavier than you are cannot raise you from the ground. If your ki is pouring forward powerfully, you have this much strength in your little finger. Do not try this often. The slightest carelessness can lead to a broken bone. A calm spirit in the direction of the flow of ki can make a great difference in a person's power. Practice exercises for two people. Do not force your partner. Instead, you should both cooperate and lead each other as you maintain strong outpourings of ki. The person whose ki stops for even a second will be thrown. Always turn your head in the direction in which you are moving. Ukemi, practice falling. First, falls to the rear. When standing from this exercise, keep your body and face turned forward. This prevents an opponent from being able to push you backward. Falls forward. A strong outpouring of ki and concentration of the spirit in the single spot in the lower abdomen are vital to this exercise. Keeping your body rounded protects you from injury even when you have been thrown hard. If you keep your spirit concentrated in the single spot in the lower abdomen, you will not be dizzy when you stand. Sayu Undo with a partner. When an opponent attacks with an ikkyo, lead him first. Then throw him with this move. Do not let your ki stop flowing, or your opponent will throw you. Katate tori kokyu nage. Do not force your opponent down. Lead his strength and throw him. This technique is a direct application of the ude furi undo. This posture is bad because it is unstable. To correct it, Concentrate your spirit in the single spot in the lower abdomen and think hard that your opponent's strength is flowing there too. You will then be as stable as a rock. Even should your opponent move you, you need only walk away. Complete master of your own actions. Do not pull your right arm. Instead, making the flow of your strength agree in direction with his, and drawing a large circle with your index finger, lead your opponent around. After you first lower your hand, raise it again, and continuing the circular movement and pointing your finger at your opponent's forehead, force him over backward. This is a basic move in leading your opponent. Do not throw him. Help him to fall. A few words of explanation about the use of ki. If you simply hold the stick, this happens. If, however, you concentrate on sending your strength to the tip of the stick, your partner cannot push it toward you. The same is true of your wrist. When your strength is flowing to it, your opponent's power has no effect. Only when you have mastered this theory and its practice can you successfully lead an opponent. Use of the feet. Force will get you nowhere. Use this technique to lead and down an opponent who has moved to you for an attack. Katate tori koten gaeshi. You cannot force his arm back, but if you hold his left hand, extend it this way, and make a small circle in the direction of his fingertips, you will be able to move it because you are following the direction of his ki. Katate tori shihou nage. Here again, force is useless. The secret is to make your strength and his flow in the same direction. When that happens, turn and throw him. The throw will be easy, no matter how strong your opponent, if you move his hand directly downward in the direction of his own flow of ki. Since this is a Tenkan version, you must pivot behind your opponent before you throw him. Katate tori kaiten nage. In practice sessions, we allow opponents to seize parts of the body, but in actual combat, they seldom have enough time to do so. Katate tori ikkyo. Katate tori jiyu waza, or free techniques. Ryote tori tenchi nage. The name derives from the positions of the hands. The right raised as if supporting the heavens, ten, and the left turned down as if pressing on the earth, chi. When your partner has immobilized both your wrists, move whatever part of your arm is still free and lead him into a throw. The first of the Tenchinage shown was an Irimi version. The second, a Tenkan version. All Aikido techniques are divided into these two major categories. In the Irimi, you throw an opponent headed toward you without changing the direction of your own body. In the Tenkan, on the other hand, you first pivot from your opponent's line of attack and then throw him. If you try to force your opponent's hand back, you will find it too heavy to move. The secret is to extend it slightly first, and then to push it. In the left hand movements of the Tenchinage, also extend his arm first. Do not try to force it. Ryote tori kokyu nage. Take up all the slack in the towel first, then pull it, and your opponent will move forward with it. The theory here is the same. Extend his arm to the fu. Turn your hips a little further, and he will follow. Once his arm is outstretched fully, he will fall, without your pulling him any further. Ryote tori shihou nage. Ryote tori free techniques. Katatori Ikkyo. The move is from the hip first, not from the left shoulder. Correctly retracting the right foot is very important. This time, parry your opponent's hand before he can seize your shoulder. Ikkyo free techniques. Nikkyo. Although the pain in this hold is great, since you bend his hand and arm in the natural direction of movement, no harm results.